The two body that now is under the oversight of Ministry of Finance, what are the different and how do they complement each other?
The main difference is the National Accounting Council is the regulator of the accountancy profession in Cambodia. They regulate it.
They regulate it.
Yeah. And within the umbrella of the NAC, you have the national body.
Yes.
Which is called the Kampuchea Institute of Certified Public Accountants and Auditors. So they actually manage the profession. Which means if I'm, let's say for example, you are a qualified accountant in Malaysia.
Yes.
You want to join Ernst & Young or KPMG or PwC, any accounting firm.
Yes.
You have to be an active member of KICPA.
Yes.
Before you can sign off on audit reports or before you can practice the profession.
Okay.
So it's all under the umbrella of the Ministry of Economy and Finance.
Yes.
You have the National Accountancy Council, then you have KICPA. Because His Excellency Nitai also has the position of the Government Commissioner in charge of KICPA.
I see.
So he is the one overlooking the whole accountancy profession. But he doesn't get involved in the day-to-day management of KICPA, but he has to sign off on any decisions.
All right. So basically, Cambodia as a country, we have the framework now to, when the time comes for the mutual recognition arrangement negotiated, that we are in a position to say, look, we are in position.
Correct.
And that's where ACCA is stepping in to help build the capacity.
That's right.
Am I correct?
Yeah, correct. Because I mean, for ACCA, we would really like a very comprehensive and a very well-accepted national CPA program.
Yes.
Because we don't see it as a competition. We see it as, working together to develop the accountancy profession here.
Okay.
Having said that, if you are ACCA member, if you want to practice a profession in any other ASEAN country, there's no issue, because out of the 10 ASEAN countries, ACCA has signed 9, either a memorandum of understanding or a joint exam scheme out of the 10, out of 9 countries. The only country that we don't have any MOU is Laos. But it will come eventually. So because of that, let's say if you're an ACCA member in Cambodia, you want to go and work for an accounting firm in Singapore, for example. Once you say you are an ACCA member, they know what is ACCA. And also they have the arrangements between ACCA and the national body of that particular country, except Laos.
So if I can put more at the operational level, right, minus the policy, so like coherence that we are now discussing under the ASEAN Economic Community framework, right? The Cambodian professional now are building up its capacity that it can migrate to work in different countries in the region.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. So the missing link right now is that, the mutual recognition arrangement for the profession has not been negotiated yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct. The reason for that is that the developed countries are reluctant to recognize the qualification of the developing countries within ASEAN.
Yes. Which makes sense, because as sophisticated a financial market like Singapore, where you require so many stringent, analysis, right?
Correct.
I would say it's understandable. And so I can relate also to the legal profession. When you start to do a legal opinion on an offshore rig, where you have a different financing structure and it's multi-jurisdictional arrangement, how in the world would you entrust a country where, number one, the practice is not there yet.
Correct.
The experience not there yet.
Yeah.
So it's quite understandable.
Sure.
Understandable.
Sure.
But to me, Senaka, I think I like this high benchmark because it's like an athlete.
Yeah.
When the bar is so low, it's so easy to cross.
Correct.
But it don't make you a better athlete.
That's right.
If the bar is high, you complain, but you receive assistant help from coach, from trainer to jump over.
That's
and
right.
the day you jump over that bar, you are a good athlete.
Successful. That's right.
So professionally, I concur.
Correct. No, I'm so happy that the National Accounting Council and the national body KICPA are really, they are really pushing for a national CPA program.
Yes.
Because it is, every country needs a national CPA program. You have the international qualification, but the national CPA is the pride of that particular country, because it's there. It's the Cambodian national CPA program.
Yes.
Which for me, I'm not a Cambodian, but
you look Cambodian to me.
I would like, a national CPA program, because that's the flagship. And then you can have the other international qualifications.
Yes.
Because like, for example, in my country, because I became a member of the national body, and then I have the choice of becoming ACCA or any other qualification.
Senaka, I look back 20 years earlier, which I think that's when we met about 20 years ago, right? So you are an honorary Cambodian. You were in the accounting, auditing profession. I was in the legal profession. 20 years later, I see that the profession that you pursue have a very well structured body, nationally and internationally. And I want to link a bit or compare to other sector. These are the sort of body, the sort of sector that other sector in the country should look up to.
Yeah.
Because when you enter the ASEAN Economic Community, you have to be competitive. You have to meet the standard,
yeah.
right? And if I look for something quite visible, you look at the construction now, right? You see high-rise sprucing up.
Yep.
Cambodia have to move up into that international standard of construction, for example. But the Wat Nat Tower is a good example.
Correct.
That when people come to the country, they see, my God, Cambodia has such a high-end, sophisticated, building structure with all the first world amenity, right?
Yeah.
Fiber optic and everything. These are the sort of thing. But in the soft skill, accounting profession, you set the standard.
Yeah.
And other people, other sectors should follow.
Correct.
If we are to compete and succeed, in the ASEAN Economic Community.
Right.
So I have to take my head off. And
definitely. For example, you have the ASEAN Federation of Accountants, and the Cambodian body was holding the presidentship until December 2013. So that means within ASEAN, they recognize the national body as the presidency of the ASEAN Federation of Accountants. So that's the kind of recognition that the local body here have within ASEAN.
Yes.
But what they need to really do is now develop the national CPA program, so that they can eventually come up with a mutual recognition agreement.
So
the arrangement.
I'm going to project a bit further, forward-looking. 5 years down the road, more than likely Cambodia will not be anymore a least developed country.
Correct.
We would have graduated into a low middle income country.
Yeah.
In 5 years' time, how many Cambodian you foresee, at least those who are in your program, right, that we could boast or we could claim that we have a core of good accountant, auditor that can meet international standards?
Sure. Our prediction is currently we have about 200 students.
Okay.
Because ACCA has 14 papers.
Yes.
Fundamental 9 and professional 5.
Yes.
So currently there are about 200 students who are pursuing the professional papers.
Wow. Already.
So I'm thinking about in the next 2 to 3 years time, at least 300 members. The member numbers have been increasing gradually over the years. And my prediction for 2020 is to have at least 7,000 members and students. Members and students combined.
Yes.
Because currently we have both members and students about 2,600.
It's a rolling plan.
Yeah. So 2014, and we see the growth of our students at the range of about 9 to 10%.
Yes.
What we want is quality students who will eventually convert to members. We don't want students who study but cannot qualify.
Yes.